Sponsored by the Glass Jug. Located just off State Road 55 in Durham, the Glass Jug is the only place in the Triangle where you can browse a selection of hundreds of different craft beers, sit and enjoy one of 16 different beers on tap, and then take home a counter-pressure-filled growler of your favorite draft beer. Their growler filling technology ensures beer freshness and carbonation for much longer than growlers filled from the tap. Join the Glass Jug for free tasting events every Thursday at 5 p.m. We'll see you at the Glass Jug.
Hi, I'm Glenn. Dave's behind the camera with NC Beer Guys. Welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We found our way back to the Nickelpoint Brewing Company on Pershing Road. What is it, 506?
506.
506, I got it right that time. We were here when they opened about, what, 15 months ago or so?
That's right, just over a year ago.
And we were here before they actually had the grand opening and the soft opening. They were just getting their feet on the ground, feeling their way through. So we thought we'd come back and let Bruce Corregan, the co-owner, one of the co-owners, and the brewer here, tell us how it's been for the first year and some great exciting things that might be coming. And we're actually going to get off the stool in just a minute and walk around and let him show us the premises. Thanks for having us in.
Thanks for coming, Glenn. I appreciate it.
Sure. How's it been the first year?
Oh, my goodness.
Everything what are the growing things?
I have learned a tremendous amount. And it's funny, all the things that I was worried about that I thought were going to be issues didn't end up being issues.
Great. That's good. But all those things you couldn't anticipate and didn't anticipate.
That's right. That's the stuff that happened.
Now, real briefly for our audience, what was your brewing background?
So I was a home brewer for about 15 years before we started. I started in my basement, like a lot of microbreweries have started in this country. My brother and I started brewing together just after he had an accident.
And we're going to meet Matt. He's the scientist here, and we're going to step into the lab in just a minute and meet Matt too.
Yep. So we started fairly casually and got more and more serious over time and started to compete, develop our own recipes, and through some colleagues that I had at IBM where I used to work, we started a microbrewery. So.
And did you approach the other guys, or did they have a similar, like Mark? I know we met Mark.
Yep. They approached me.
Okay.
I'd bring homebrew into the office from time to time, let them sample the beer, and so that's kind of how it all started.
That's a great way to make good office mates.
That's right.
Good.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've gotten used to having some flagships.
Yep.
You knew from get-go you'd have some standards.
Yes, yeah. And we've actually made some changes. This is one of the big things we've learned.
Let's want to talk about that.
So we started off brewing between 6 and 7 styles and really positioning all of those styles sort of openly to our customers, and realized early on that it was important to kind of focus on 2 or 3 styles that were what we're now calling our core styles or flagship styles. And it really helps us position the portfolio to our customers in a way that helps them digest what we're doing, but it also helps us from a production perspective as well. It's having capacity is always going to be an issue, no matter what scale you're brewing at. Of course. And you get to one level, and then you got to have more tanks and more kegs and more tanks, and so we wanted to put a strategy together that helped us manage to that demand with the capacity that we had at any given point in time. So what it meant for us was having 2 or 3 core styles that are always available, and for us it's our Vienna Lager, our IPA, and our Blonde Ale is now transitioning into that. And then we have a series of rotators that are seasonal only in the sense that they're readily available in the fall and winter. Like the Porter, for example, I always brew that and keep that in production in the fall and the winter time.
And it'll be here every fall and winter.
That's right.
It's a regular seasonal.
It's a regular seasonal. We call it rotator because it rotates kind of in and out each year. And then in the spring and summer, we'll do either the Blonde or the Strong Belgian Golden as our spring and summer rotator. Our Blonde Ale is getting really, really popular, so that's why we're starting to think maybe it's time to think about moving that into the core part of the portfolio. Because it's a real light, easy drinking, approachable beer, almost Pilsner-esque in some ways. And hopefully we ran out. We don't have any on tap right now, so we won't get to taste it. But anyway, and then we executed a fairly robust a true seasonal strategy as well. So we started off just doing 2 seasonals, one in the fall, one in the spring, and realized quickly that our customers like new styles. They always want to know what's the latest and newest thing.
Right, and what somebody else hasn't had.
That's right. So at a minimum, we'll have 4 seasonals in a 12-month period, and in some cases we'll have 5. So I did, for example, this fall, I did a pecan nut brown ale, which has been immensely popular. And then I just brewed about a month ago a Doppelbock, which I'll release just around Christmas time during Advent, which is when the monks usually consumed it. This comes from the monastic brewing tradition. And then we'll follow that with our strong Scotch ale in the February time frame, or a wee heavy.
And those will come back, or not necessarily. They may be different seasonals.
They may be different seasonals.
That may not be a rotating thing, even for a season.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, what the demand is. We are doing the wee heavy again. I did it last year, and it was popular, and folks liked it, and we ran out very quickly.
Well, good. Stick with what's successful.
So we'll do that again as a wee. So in other words, sort of two dark. One lager, one ale, winter seasonals, and then we'll do in the summertime we'll do a Hefeweizen probably again, but I want to do something like a Bière de Garde or maybe a Saison or something like that in the springtime to kind of fill that little gap.
You guys.
Something new for us,
right.
Yeah. So the point is always having something new right around the corner, and it keeps folks interested.
Of course, because you want to service your regulars, you want them to keep coming back, but part of that is them having, like you said, something new and different to try.
That's right.
But then you also want to have you draw the new people in.
That's right.
Who may not have found you yet.
That's right. That's right. And then they get to enjoy our core styles after they try a seasonal.
So while we're here in the tap room, let's talk about the tap room. There's almost always something going on here. What are the regular hours of the tap room? Is it every night yet?
Yeah, so we're open, so Monday through Thursday, we open at 4 in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night. Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays we open at noon. Okay. And then on Fridays and Saturdays we're open till midnight, and then Sundays open.
And often with a food truck?
Every night of the week except Monday nights. Okay. We have a food truck.
And sometimes events. You do other things that are going on too.
Yeah, we do. So we have live music every Saturday. We do a trivia night during the week. We have an open mic night during the week. We do a cornhole tournament. We'll talk in a minute about our quality program and our beer science series. We just kicked that off about almost a month ago now. The other thing we've learned that is a big interest to folks is small batches. So we're now doing a monthly, soon to be twice a month, small batch series.
And what does small batch mean for you size-wise?
So it's a 10-gallon batch. Okay. And it's either a brewed on the pilot system as usually a test batch or a development batch that we're thinking about scaling up, or sometimes I'll take a base beer and add fruit to it.
Just do
or
something
different
else with it.
That's right. I did a jalapeno IPA, for example, that we'll release in the future as a small batch, and just doing unique things. We've got a Randall that we'll run beer through to do some unique things.
And do you guys take those out to events and festivals or to special events?
No,
or that's in-house?
It's very much a tap room only thing. Right
so again, it's a draw to bring people here.
That's right. That's right.
But there is Nickelpoint beer out in the wild.
There is.
I had one last night at Apex at Tyler's.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The blonde was there.
Okay. Right.
Are you doing a lot of accounts yet?
We are.
Okay.
We're in about a total of 80 accounts in the Wake County, some Durham County area.
But sticking fairly close to home for now.
Yes, yes.
And you're servicing them yourself.
We are. Okay. We're self-distributing. About 30 to 40 of those accounts are active, and then that's the other thing we learned.
Some of it comes and goes.
It does, and there's so many craft breweries around for folks to choose from. They like to rotate through.
And as you can wrestle your way into a tap handle and keep it, and sometimes you don't keep it, and you're back and forth.
And so it really tweaked our sales strategy and how we address that in terms of going to get new accounts versus retained accounts. If I can stay in an account for 2 months, to me that's great.
And one of the things you've done recently is bring on an official sales kind of production guy.
That's right.
And he's known to our beer community. David Hadish has been around for a while.
That's right.
And came to you, I guess, from Big Boss.
He did. That's right.
But he's been at Full Steam and some other places over the years.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's actually out now, actually repping the beer. He's going to be the public face at least.
Yep. He goes out and sells to our restaurants, our bottle shops, all the folks we're selling to. He's very active in all the events that we're participating in, mostly off-premise events. Right. He even helps me brew on some days. He's going to help me tomorrow brew.
Well, he's certainly got the skills, so that's great that you bring somebody in that can cover all the bases.
We're lucky to have him.
And we're not packaging yet.
Not yet. So that's right on the near horizon. Okay. We're getting ready to sign with a distributor, which will be eventually take us statewide.
You ready to say who that is, or not ready yet?
Not ready to say who it is just yet, but we're close. And that's going to, right after that, we're going to start canning. And we'll start canning 2 or 3 styles right off the bat. You can probably guess it's those core styles.
The core style,
that we'll can. right here in the brewery. And so, yeah, that's our next big. So 2016 for us is our big growth year to really get out in the marketplace and really gain market share in the North Carolina craft beer market.
Well, that's great. So let's see the premises.
Yeah,
show us around.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to see, I think, is the lab, because it's right off the tap room here.
That's right. Yep.
And excuse our backs, viewers. This is the lab.
Yep.
And there's Matt at work, brother Matt.
Yeah, that's my brother, busy at work. So we've got a fairly strong quality program here at Nickelpoint. Matt's a biochemist by training.
Okay.
Worked in the pharma industry for years. And even when we were brewing at home, we wanted to make quality a priority and make it really part of our culture. So when we started the brewery, it was an important part of investing in the lab and really putting some money behind and an intellectual property behind a quality program. And for us, it really means quality means producing a consistent beer. So it's the same.
And that is often a challenge to a new brewery.
It is, and we're finding that now.
But
we have the good news is we have the tools and the resources to gather empirical data to track that. So we can track our IBUs over a series of batches, or our color, or ABVs, everything we're able to track with some pretty sophisticated instruments and gather that empirical data and then start to see where we have trends, and that helps you identify where you may have issues.
Right.
So that's really the heart and soul of what we're doing, and really, again, trying to make the product consistent.
And let's talk about the Science of Beer series. We just saw the flyer on the wall here.
Yeah.
So you had one of these sessions. It looks like there could be six sessions, and these are open for people to sign up and come in. The same people come every month, or they come and go?
They can. So this all kind of started. We participated at the Science Museum a couple of months ago in the
we were there.
Right. Yeah. And so we thought, we've got some of these skills, and it's a priority for us. Let's do a series here in the brewery and really open it up for folks that are either home brewers that want to, maybe take things to the next level,
or just tweak what they're already doing.
Tweak what they're doing, or folks that are, there's a lot of folks around here thinking about opening a brewery, and it's a good introduction to
every
that.
day.
We're an intern partner with the Wake Tech program, and so a lot of those folks were interested in are coming. So anybody's welcome, but we do go kind of deep in some of the science of beer, and so we're positioning it to folks that are either have a science background or are brewing beer already, etc.
And it looks like the next session's coming up on the 14th. Will be about the water.
That's right. So what we did is, the first session was really an introduction to us and a little bit about our quality program and some of the things that we do here in the brewery, and really tried to make it very practical for what a home brewer could do at home to track whether it's pH or do force tests for diacetyl or whatever they may want to do. There's some really simple practical things that you can do. So we talked a lot about that, and then we wanted to really tie the series to the ingredients and the process of making beer. So the first is water. We'll talk all about water and what we do here in terms of treating water and how we test our water. And
which is often something home brewers don't get into. They use what's available, or they buy just bottled water. They don't really know what they're using.
Yeah, but the thing we stress is you may not need to take it to the level that a production brewery does, but there's a few little things that you can do.
You need to know.
That's right. That's right.
And then we'll continue later with the malt and
hops and yeast. That's right.
Well, that'll be great. So, and again, it's a way to introduce people to the brewery.
That's right.
And to inject something back to the community, because you guys are all about that too.
That's exactly right.
That's great.
Yeah.
So let's see the production area.
Good deal.
And the production area, for you guys who haven't been to Nickelpoint yet, kind of serves also as an extension of the tap room. When the weather's nice, they've got great big garage doors they can roll up, and we've got ping pong tables and just gathering space. And a whole lot goes on here that's really more tap room than brewery in that sense. But it's also kind of neat for visitors, guests, to sit here and just see what it's like to be in a brewery, because you can't be any more in a brewery than you are right here in it.
Right in the middle of it.
You're right here in the middle of it. So is this the original system, or have we grown already in the first year?
This is the original system. So we have a 20-barrel system, a 20-barrel brew house, and right now 3 20-barrel conicals and a 20-barrel bright tank. As you can see, we've got room to grow. That's really a big part of our strategy, is to, as we I talked about growing next year, and we start to amp up our production. We're going to be dropping in more tanks in this aisle here, and then eventually we'll trench drain perpendicular to the brew house out towards the parking lot with another row of tanks. And obviously, then, there's going to be more storage. I'm going to have more cooperage, and some of this space will get used up as some of the
course, that's right.
So as we bring in more tanks, I'll be bringing in 40 and 60 barrel tanks. So we started with the 20 barrels. The 40s and 60s we'll brew our core styles and our high run rate beers in. The 20 barrels will be, our seasonals, smaller batches, and so forth. We'll do in the 20 barrel vessels.
Great.
The brew house is a traditional empirical system, imperial system, I should say. So single infusion mash and so forth. It's a mash ladder combo with a boil kettle. We did do our milling room separate from everything, so that's off in the corner back there.
Okay. And that's cold storage behind the metal doors.
And then that's right. We've got about 800 square feet of cold storage. Where we're storing, obviously not only our finished product, but hops and other things that we need to keep cold.
So is this like, we'll kind of come full circle, for a home brewer gone big, is it like a dream come true?
Well, when we had our 1 year anniversary, I sent a note to the guys, and I kind of thanked them all for everything. And I closed it with saying, you've made a dream come true. It's every home brewer's dream.
Sure, it is, that's right.
And it absolutely is. And it's interesting. It didn't take me long to really learn the system, and the big thing was learning how to deal with large volumes of stuff. Those things that are under a lot more
because it's different
pressure.
than 5 and 10 gallon batches.
That's right. But once you get through that and you kind of learn the logistics of that kind of stuff, it's really the same process. It's really, it's not a fully automated system that you'd see in a very large scale brewery like a New Belgian or somebody. So it's really home brewing on a much, much larger scale, with, obviously dealing with a lot more dangerous chemicals,
of course,
and a lot more, high volume.
And as a co-owner, you've got the business pressure too of,
that's right.
It's all got to fit with the bigger market, the bigger scale,
that's right.
The bigger everything.
That's right.
But that keeps it interesting.
It does, yeah. And we really approach it. It's a business, and so at the end of the day, we've got to make ends meet and run it like a business. And obviously, I get to play in here
and bring your passion to that side of the work.
That's right.
And the other will come. And you've got partners for some of the other things that bring their skill sets in to match your talents.
It does, yeah.
And that's got to be great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having us in.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you having us. Yeah. Until next time, this is Dave and NC Beer Guys. You got to get Nickel Street, 506 Pershing Road on the Nickelpoint. Nickel Street. Where'd that come from? Nickelpoint, 506 Pershing Road in the 5 Points area, Raleigh. Till next time, remember, drink local and keep your beer dollars, North Carolina.